Rome, the unbroken empire and the face of spiritual Babylon. Question 1. Does the Bible teach a succession of world empires? Yes. In Daniel 2 and Daniel 7, God gives King Nebuchadnezzar and the prophet Daniel parallel visions of 4 successive world empires, symbolized first by a statue, Daniel 2, and then by beasts, Daniel 7. These are interpreted as 1. Babylon, head of gold, lion; 2. Medo-Persia, silver chest, bear; 3. Greece, bronze belly, leopard; 4. Rome, iron legs, dreadful beast with iron teeth, Daniel 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. This proves the continuity of power, not a chaotic or random world order. Question 2. What happened to the Roman Empire after it fell? It didn't vanish. It fragmented. While Western Rome fell in 476 AD, the empire continued in several forms. The Eastern Roman, Byzantine Empire lasted until 1453 AD. The Holy Roman Empire began in 800 AD under Charlemagne, continuing until 1806. Modern Western legal systems, government models, militaries, and even religious institutions trace their roots back to Rome. Rome's DNA continues in the governing structures, legal systems, architecture, and ideologies of modern Europe and its colonies, especially the US and UK. Therefore, Rome never truly ended. It evolved. Question 3. Does Daniel's prophecy account for this continuation? Yes. In Daniel 2, the final part of the statue, the feet of iron and clay, represents the last phase of the Roman system. Iron represents Rome, and clay represents human weakness and disunity. Daniel 2, verses 41 through 43, the kingdom shall be divided, the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken, but they shall not cleave one to another. This perfectly describes the modern alliance of Western nations, strong militarily, weak morally, economically interdependent, culturally divided, forming unions like the EU, UN, and NATO that are unstable and fragile. Question 4. Are today's nation-states, like the US, UK, France, and Germany, descendants of Rome? Historically and prophetically, yes. France and Germany were formed from former Roman provinces. The British Empire absorbed Roman values and administration through Christianized Roman missionaries and governance. The United States inherited English common law, Roman republicanism, Senate structures, and imperial ambition. The European Union was founded on Roman legal and civilizational ideals. Revelation 17, verse 18. The woman which thou sawest is that great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. In John's day, Rome was that city. Question 5. How does Revelation connect Rome to Babylon? Spiritually, Rome is Mystery Babylon. In Revelation, Babylon is described as a city seated on 7 hills, Revelation 17, verse 9, a whore riding the beast, spiritually unfaithful, clothed in purple and scarlet, colors of Roman religious and imperial power, drunk with the blood of the saints and martyrs, Revelation 17, verse 6, a hub for commerce, sorcery, and deception, Revelation 18. Revelation 17, verse 9. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. Ancient Rome was famously called the city on 7 hills. Later, the Roman Catholic Church, centered in Rome, inherited spiritual and political influence, becoming an enduring religious empire. Question 6. How did Rome become spiritual Babylon? By merging paganism with religious power. Pagan Rome persecuted Christians. Papal Rome later merged Roman paganism with Christian names, introducing idolatry, hierarchy, indulgences, and blasphemous claims of divine authority. Pagan festivals like Saturnalia were repackaged as Christmas. The title Pontifex Maximus was worn by Roman Caesars and adopted by popes. Thessalonians 2, verse 4. So that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. This fits the Pope's claim of being the vicar of Christ, speaking ex cathedra with divine authority. Question 7. What is the final form of this Roman Babylonian system? A one-world system, part political, part religious, that arises from the iron and clay confederation, Daniel 2, is ruled by a beast-like figure. Daniel 7, Revelation 13, is enforced by a false prophet. Revelation 13, verses 11 through 17, has roots in Rome's imperial, philosophical, and spiritual legacy. Question E8. What is God's judgment of this system? Revelation 18:2. Babylon the Great is fallen. Revelation 18:4. Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins. God calls his people to separate from this spiritual system that masquerades as truth, but is full of fornication, lies, and idolatry. Conclusion. Prophetic truth, fulfillment. Rome would never die. It would fragment into modern nation-states, fulfilled in EU, UK, US, NATO, etc. Rome would become spiritual Babylon, fulfilled through papal religion, global influence, ecumenical deceit. The Antichrist would rise from this confederation, now being prepared through global governance, moral collapse, and deception. Rome is not just ancient history, it is the foundation of the present world order, and the final judgment of that system is coming. Daniel 2:45. The stone cut without hands shall break it into pieces. That stone is Christ Jesus, who will crush every empire and set up an everlasting kingdom.